Hey, good morning, fellow YouTubers. So it's kind of early morning on this Wednesday, so I don't want to talk too loud. I'm out on my front porch, but I want to talk a little bit about something I'm hearing more and more in regards to this coronavirus is group immunity. So we first heard that term, several weeks ago, but I'm starting to hear it more, and so that's how we always survive viruses. Primarily, I think, is through that group immunity. And I mean, still flus and influenza, pneumonia, they all seem to kill people that are more vulnerable, older, or having pre-existing conditions. And so it's quite similar in many respects to what we already have. But you didn't really see us doing much. So what were we focusing? We're focusing on isolating socially. And when you have to go out for groceries or whatnot, you do two things primarily. You wear the mask and the gloves. And the surgical mask, I've heard pretty much a lot of doctors say it's really not gonna do much. But then you got the N95 mask, which can actually stop the little pieces of liquid from the lungs that have it. So like a cough or a sneeze, you can have those little pieces of fluid that come out in that cough or that sneeze. Damn it. There is this funny surgeon. He's got a YouTube channel. His name's Dr. Vaughn. And he's an Asian guy that's a surgeon. And he talks like a surfer. Says the word dude and cusses a lot. He's trying to work on his cussing. But he has obviously other doctor friends. And he's had on one woman in there that's a doctor working on the front lines that feels she had the coronavirus. But it was at such a small level that she was able to go to work, continue going to work, and continue exercising. Now, that same doctor also had a family member that got more ill than she did, but still wasn't deathly ill and came out the other end. And this person was in their 50s. So it's good to hear about these types of situations where you have people that are getting it, don't need hospitalization, and a few days later they're feeling a lot better. So that's good to see. So we mainly just been focusing on that, keeping those numbers low by the social isolating and the gloves and the masks. But now you're hearing more and more doctors from the front lines saying that they had it and it was a small illness, that they were able to work through it, exercise through it. And Chuck Johns came out, one thing you got to hand it to Chuck, he does a lot of research, and he came out probably around 8 or 9 days ago saying that he has heard that you can get small, very, very small exposure and have a very, very small illness. That's exactly what we want for a group immunity to develop. So then, I saw on this YouTube channel, this guy, Brian Rose. He has a YouTube channel named London Real. And he's very proud of being English, but he talks with absolutely no accent. So I guess he spends a lot of time here in America and back and forth. But he really says he thinks he's had it and he was able to exercise through it, but he feels that you know, he's out there every day exercising, jogging, and whatnot without a mask because he does feel that he's young enough and healthy enough. He's like, I think 55 or thereabouts, that he's going to help us with this group immunity. Now, on the other side of the coin would be naysayers say, no, if you get it, you might not know, and then be out there exercising like you do and give it to someone that has a pre-existing condition like tuberculosis or COPD or diabetes or old age, and then you can, being a carrier, give it to them, and now they have a death sentence, and you are healthy and you go back to work tomorrow. So there's a lot of complications, but you know, that group immunity does have to be developed, and it doesn't get developed easily. It gets developed by us being exposed to it and having some of it get into our system and having our body's natural response take place and develop the antibodies that they need to fight it. And then your body learns from that and can then be more ready to deal with it next time it gets exposed to it. So it's just interesting to see how it's unraveling, and I think I may have been exposed to it. I've been out walking about 5 miles a day with my dog with no mask. And I did have 2 days, probably around 10 days ago, 2 days where I felt lung problems, breathing, coughing, and a headache. And I just isolated a little bit more and was able to exercise still, and felt pretty okay, other than just some headaches and some coughing and lung problems. So, and you know, I hear that it's going to be like, what, 75 or 80% of us are going to have exposure to this by the time we're coming out the tail end of it. So that's kind of something that makes you think, okay, well, let's just get it over with. Let's get exposed to it. If by the time we're done with this, 75 or 80% of it are going to be exposed, doesn't that kind of make sense to just kind of get it over with and be exposed and then get better? It's kind of like the old idea of, you know, chicken pox or the mumps. You know, kids, when I was growing up, they would accept, okay, he's going to get it once, you know, and then when they would get it at like 3 or 4, they would kind of just, you know, hunker down and be ready to deal with it, knowing that once the child came out the other end, he was done, he was good, he wasn't going to get it again. So I don't know where I'm going with this, but I do think that, you know, the numbers are going to start leveling off. So we're still on the increase. We're going to start leveling off and then eventually start coming down the other end. We're going to hopefully get an antivirus. So I guess they're going to be working on a vaccine in the meantime, but an antivirus is 15 to 18 months away. So as those numbers start to level off, they're on the upcrease. Once they start to level off, we'll get that group immunity starting to get a little bit more developed. And then as the number starts falling down, we're all going to be going back to work, and that group immunity will develop more. And then summertime comes, it's going to help us with this. And then round 2 might start in fall and early winter next year, but hopefully we'll have some kind of antivirus by then. Interesting. Hit like, don't like, but mainly I'd be interested to hear some comments, because, you know, we all got a lot of time to ponder this stuff at home, and there's a hell of a lot of media coverage. So we got a lot of free time, and a lot of exposure to information. So let me hear what you guys think on this. Thank you. Have a good day. Stay strong.